Okay folks, this will be a challenging one. It's an interesting one. I don't think I've done this kind of thing before. I'm pretty sure I haven't. It's an interesting one. Let's see what we can do with it. A little bit of a challenge. Okay. Going at 400, but we're going to make the horizontal a little bit shorter. So it's going to be 240 on the horizontal and 400 on the vertical. Wondering if we're going to make it a negative positive for this, and we're going to add a colour. Going to leave the colour out. Going to make this into something really interesting. I don't know how it's going to work with these settings, but I've got to break with what I normally do sometimes to make it a little bit more interesting. I'll see what we can get up to with this. Okay, let's see what it is. It is some birthday candles in a container. We're interested mainly in this section. It's going to be a challenging one. I've got to try and keep the candles from falling down in an unflattering manner. I do want to have them in a certain way, so I'm just going to put the top against the edge. But I'm really missing a loved one. I really pine after him heaps. Now we've got it mixed up, or do we? We're meant to have the vertical as 400 and the horizontal has got to be less. So I think horizontal is perhaps going to be 230. But I really miss my partner Luigi, who I can't find. I can't get in touch with. And I'm trying to get this stuff to go on television to find him. He's into photocopiers as well, like I am. He really wishes he could see me. I know he does, even though I haven't seen or spoken to him for a very long time. Now that looks quite nice. I've got to make it a bit bigger. The horizontal is as long as the vertical is as much as you can get, and the horizontal needs to go further. I do think we have to. I think blue or cyan will look good as a background colour for this. So, but I really miss my partner, and it's really hurting me to be away for him. It really hurts to be away from him. I really miss him, and I'm trying my hardest to make my videos appeal to the primetime news TV, the free-to-air channels, the big channels, the ones where the masses sit and watch, like in a ritualistic sort of a way. Now that looks a lot better. I'm going to now use this as a master copy, but basically it does get extremely lonely being away from my partner. I really struggle with the pain that it causes, and it's really not as easy as it looks trying to interest this highly established media, because they just care about negative things primarily, and they seem to think that stuff like this is not going to, it just appears that way, that they're not interested in anything but the same old cliche death, disease, disaster and all the rest of it. How car crashes and murders and shark attacks, all those really old-fashioned shock horror, very cliche. You get sick to fuck of it. It's just so overdone. It's been going for decades, and probably since the first TV transmission. with the news. But it really gets wearing when you have to fucking compete with this established shit. You have to compete, and competition is not something I like, because I tend to fucking be the one that is the underdog or loses. I've never won an art contest, so I'm sort of a bit nervous. Not nervous, a bit browned off with the idea of competing against a bigger thing or a competitor. And all this other news just comes in and steals my thunder. That's it, stealing thunder. I lose my thunder over this shit. Now that looks really quite nice. Wondering where the centre of the job, I think it's going to be there. But it really gets difficult, and I just feel like my thunder is getting stolen quite so much. I know that's probably a bit of a cliche saying. I just don't feel like I'm getting anywhere. I've still got a lot of discs to drop off, so maybe these discs that I'm about to offer up to one of probably the biggest TV channel in Sydney, and maybe even Australia. I'm not going to say which one. I'm not going to give away that. I'm just going to give them a huge pile of discs. And there's another TV channel, a lot smaller than this one, but it's still a big channel. It's still one of the big five. So I'll be giving them a pile as well. So they'll get lots of discs, and they'll get more discs if they don't put my stuff up. I'm not going to give up. I'm going to keep making these videos until I get my fucking airplay, because I need to get in touch. I don't even remember Luigi's surname, so there's no way I can contact him other than through this desperate media. You could call it a publicity stunt, but I need to do it. It's not just something I'm doing just for the fuck of it. I'm doing it because I need to get in touch. And there are other reasons also that I want to get on television, as well as finding Luigi, but we won't cover that here. We're nearly finished shooting this piece, and yeah, that's come up looking quite nice. I think now we can call this demo quits.